Welcome to another episode of In Your Business. Today I'm excited to actually interview with an entrepreneur that I had in class. And it's been a few years ago now, but she really surprises me because in class she was studying marketing. And oftentimes we think we're going down a certain path and then we kind of go a different direction. And that's what Amy Smith has done. Amy really impressed me in marketing. She's done a great job. She won awards, scholarships, and then today she's an entrepreneur. So Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to getting to know about your business and all the things that have led up to today. So, but before we get started, Amy, we're going to talk about your business today. We're going to talk about Dog's Pajamas.
Yes, the Dog's Pajamas.
But before so, let's talk about you. Let's talk about, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the small town of Williamsburg, went to school in Fountain City at Northeastern, and then IU East here in Richmond.
Okay.
A few years ago.
So basically, then you're very local, and you've been here. As you were just a child, all of us have, those dreams and aspirations of being something, and I'm curious to know what was it you wanted to be when you were a little girl?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher. I had a younger sister that we would play school. We had this big, large chalkboard in our playroom, and I would always try and teach her. And eventually that went away. And once high school came, college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I chose business, and I did want to do accounting. So I chose marketing as the specialty. And I had no idea I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, I know that I had you in class, and it was always interesting because you were studying marketing, and marketing is my background, and so I felt like we had a really good connection there, and we had opportunities. And with the American Marketing Association, we were very new to that organization, and they offered statewide awards, and you were selected 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So you were excelling well in marketing, and that's what gave me the impression that you're probably going to do marketing.
I think for me, the marketing also has to do with communications, and I felt shy. I wasn't confident enough to do that part. So fresh out of school, it was retail management, and I was good at organizing and planning and managing, and the marketing just kind of fell to the side.
Okay. And I recall that. I do remember after graduating, following your career, and I know you went into retail and the management, the supervision side, and that seemed to work out well for you as well.
It did.
And I think you're right. Marketing has so many different aspects, and communications is an important part of that, but also the research side and understanding what the market needs and will allow.
Yep.
And I think that's what you've done in your entrepreneurship, from what I can see so far. Yes. And we're going to dive into that. So let's just do that. Let's talk about the Dog's Pajamas.
Well, it's my pet sitting, dog walking business where I take care of my clients' pets in their home versus, boarding, kenneling. That's what's been fairly popular here in town, and the in-your-home pet sitting is kind of a newer thing.
Okay, so now, what you do is somebody will contact you and say, I'm going to be on vacation, or is this an every day, every week?
I have both. I have clients that I help throughout the week, whether they have dogs who need let out midday, maybe their owners work long hours. Dogs can only hold it for so long. And I also have clients who go on vacation, whether it's for work or, the few times a year they can get away. They leave their pets at home.
So basically then, you go to their home and maybe take the dog out, or take all pets? I mean, is it just dogs or pets?
I do dogs, cats. I've done horses. I've done donkeys, cared for goats, chickens, bunnies. Do it all.
How? I mean, how do you know that many animals? I mean, I would be comfortable with a dog, a cat, but a horse?
Most of the time, it's just making sure they have food and water.
Okay.
It's nothing too complicated because, the owners are just gone a few days a week. So it's really just making sure they're fed, have fresh water, that sort of thing.
Okay.
The chickens, maybe collect eggs. Yeah.
So is this something you do multiple times a day, or just maybe one day each day of the week, or?
Honestly, my schedule, my day, it's never the same. I have clients who, maybe they're just gone a couple days, for work. I have clients who need me Monday through Friday. It's so varied.
Okay. Do you have set hours?
No, I have set visit hours. Like,
Okay.
so example, for dogs who their clients are on vacation, dogs usually get let out 3 times a day. You have the first thing in the morning, and then
Okay.
they get breakfast, and then at midday, sometime between 11 and 2, probably, and then either at dinner time between 4 and 6, or a bedtime visit between 8 and 10.
Okay,
So,
so you might be at the same house multiple times a day.
yep.
Okay, well that is very interesting, and it's
Yes.
quite interesting that you have such a variety of animals too.
Yes. It keeps it interesting.
Amy, how many employees do you have?
Right now I have 4 working for me,
Okay.
and they're considered independent contractors.
Okay, so they're kind of like entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
So they
yeah,
have their
kind
own
of.
business, and then they
Yep.
serve your business.
Yes.
Okay. And you have 4 of them, so there's a total of 5 of you? Or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Our client base, our schedule is busy enough to have that many sitters.
Okay. Amy, when did you actually start this business?
I started this in actually July of 2013 while we lived in Nevada at the time.
Okay.
And we moved back to Indiana of March 2015, and I just picked up. I had to start fresh with a client base, but just started from scratch.
Okay, so in 2013 you started in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015 you moved the business back to Richmond, Indiana. So tell us about how you started. So what was the inspiration? What got you started in this
So
business?
it was my aunt used a pet sitter in the small town that she lived to care for her cat while they went away on vacation. And, I reached out to her asking if maybe her pet sitter needed help from time to time, and because that sounded very interesting. And I did my own research, found a few other pet sitting businesses online, and you know what? This might be something that I can do. My husband had a pretty good job in Nevada, and I was able to just devote my time to that.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And so then you moved back to Richmond, Indiana. You were able to just basically transparently start the business here.
Yeah. Luckily here in Richmond, we had friends, family that could help spread the word for me. That was a little more difficult in Nevada because we didn't know so many people.
Okay.
But here locally, word of mouth spreads.
Sure. Social media? Are you using social media?
Oh, definitely. We're on Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram. People love pictures of pets.
I believe that's true.
Yeah.
I do. So basically then you came back here, you started the business up. How soon did you start getting employees?
That started last summer, so maybe a year and a half before I really needed help, because I like a day off every now and again, and with the pet sitting, the schedule is so varied. You never know when you're going to get that call or text or email. Hey, are you available to check on my pet these days?
Amy, are you working 7 days a week?
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week, holidays.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did need some help.
Yes.
So-
I eventually had to set office hours per se, to help kind of limit clients from contacting me at 10 o'clock at night
Sure.
about their pets. But 7 days a week. Holidays are our busiest time.
I can understand
Yeah.
that. I can appreciate that. So,
Yep.
so okay. When you have subcontractors, because you've got other entrepreneurs that are actually working for you, so your employees are kind of your employees, but they're kind of
Right.
independent. How does that work out? Does that work pretty smooth for you? or?
Yeah, it does. I actually I'm busy enough that I use a pet sitting software.
Okay.
So it helps with the scheduling, and my sitters have access to it. So whenever clients come up and request visits through their client portal, then I can assign the pet sitter to the certain visits to certain clients, and it makes it so much easier.
So technology is important to your business.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Amy, I'm very curious right now because as I'm listening to you, how many hours a week are you putting into this?
I don't even want to know. It's my husband has said many times that, you know, I probably work 60 but get paid 20.
Okay. And that's probably a little conservative from what I was thinking,
Yeah.
because when
Yeah.
you start looking at 7 days a week, and I mean, you know, you're starting this early in the morning, you're ending it late at evening.
Yep.
So you got some really long days.
Yes, and there are some days that I do, but luckily I have help now, so that helps.
Okay.
That helps.
Okay. So as you were in school, you were preparing, you were taking the marketing classes, you were excelling in marketing, then you went into the retail environment, and now you've transitioned to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge because you were really focused on marketing classes, but in School of Business you were required to take everything from history to writing. You were
Yep.
also required to take accounting and
Yes.
management as far as finance, all of those. And at the time, you might have been thinking, why?
Yeah.
But now, how do you apply that to entrepreneurship?
Oh
And do you
man,
understand?
marketing's such a huge part.
Yeah. How did you determine that name, Dog's Pajamas?
That's funny. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase "the cat's pajamas." You know that.
Yeah.
You know that's kind of where it came from. I just wanted something different. I didn't want to go with Amy's Pet Sitting or, you know, the Critter Sitter, or, you know, those are popular names. Those are all over the web.
Okay.
And the Dog's Pajamas just unique. I still get a few calls or inquiries about, so do you make pajamas for dogs? And I have to explain that it's a pet sitting business, pet care business.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so I understand. And then pricing. I'm not asking you, you know, what the price is, but how do you determine how to set your price?
It starts with location. I don't charge per pet.
Okay.
It's per visit. And Richmond, Centerville, it's one price. And then if we have to travel a little further, there's a travel charge. And then there's other charges that have been added throughout the years. You know, holidays. There's certain holidays that are more expensive just because it's a popular time and that takes us away from our families.
Sure.
But I also set it, you know, there is some competition. There are other pet sitters in town, and so it's on average, the pricing.
Okay. And so as far as like building up, you use social media a lot. Do you find that you can stay busy, or do you have to find other ways of advertising and promoting your business?
Word of mouth. This is the type of business where I'm coming into your home. You don't really want just anybody coming in. So a lot of it has been spread by word of mouth, but I do have a few who have found me on Google or found me on Facebook, and you know, they've done their research, my website. My goal is to come across as professional.
Sure.
I'm not the neighbor kid coming in to take care of your pets. You know, we tend to leave your home better than when we got there.
Okay. Okay. Great.
That's our goal.
Great. I'm sure that the marketing side is a natural for you, but let's talk about the other sides of the business. Things like, you know, licensing and insurance and getting the right accountant and the
Yes.
softwares and all that. So let's talk about that.
Well, it's not the fun part of the job, that's for sure. But business is insured, do have liability insurance. As far as licensing, because the business is still self-employed, it's sole proprietorship.
Okay. Are you LLC?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a goal of mine down the road
Okay.
to get there. But currently, it's a sole proprietorship,
Okay.
and so I do all the accounting, we use our insurance guy. It's all been me. So taxes, I do keep everything separate from personal, so that makes it easier.
Okay. So you've got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
So you have to basically, I hope you have an office, a home office maybe?
My kitchen table.
Your kitchen table is your home office. And so you can basically sort through all of the invoicing. You're doing invoicing from the kitchen table?
So when I switched last summer to the pet sitting software, it does it all. It does invoicing, it does my reports for me. I do use an accounting software to help keep track of the business expenses, and especially when taxes come
Sure.
due. But yeah, that pet sitting software does it all.
Okay. Now, I interact with a lot of entrepreneurs, okay? And I can tell that you're very passionate about what you do. You
Yes.
love the animals.
Yes.
But tell us, well, what has been one of the biggest struggles, if you will, about being an entrepreneur?
Personal time.
What do you mean?
I'm always available to my clients and to the sitters who work for me. I never truly get to step away from the business because
Okay.
I don't have a partner to rely on. Like if I do want to take vacation, my phone is always on.
Okay.
And whether that's phone calls, text, emails, it's me.
That's a huge challenge.
It
I mean,
is.
that truly is.
It is.
And it sounds like you've got some solution to that coming up. I mean, you're trying to surround yourself with others that
Yes.
can do the job.
Yes.
So
Yes, I have the 4 girls, as they like to be called. They're fantastic. They all have their own other full-time job, so they help out part-time, and they all have their different availabilities when they can't help me out. So it really works out. And
you're not just managing your business, you're managing them. You're managing their
exactly,
schedules.
the scheduling is another challenge, definitely.
Oh my goodness, that must be difficult because when something's coming up in 3 weeks, you got to figure out, is there anybody available?
The schedule is never really done until like 2 days, just because I get a lot of last minute requests. Hey, we decided to go out of town. Hey, can you go let my dog out?
And so you're having to learn people's codes and stuff for their security systems and get keys and make
Yep.
all those arrangements as well. And
Yep, it's the logistics of it.
wow, so you've
Yeah.
got a lot more than just
It's the
mean-
management part of it.
wow, and understanding, keeping track of the names of these animals. I'm sure you've got to go in and call them by their name.
Oh,
and,
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's where that pet sitting software, I keep coming back to that, but it's such a lifesaver. Time, saves so much time. All that information is stored.
Wow.
Yep.
So you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot just
Yes.
by doing.
Yes.
And what do you think the main thing that you've learned? It sounds like it's a lot about that software.
It is. It is. It's scheduling, it's logistics, it's planning, it's everything. It's customer service, making sure my clients are happy, making sure the animals are well cared for.
Okay. Well, I've asked you a little bit about the struggle, if you will, and you told me it's personal time.
Yeah.
But I have to know about the reward. I have to know the opposite side. What's been the greatest thing about
The
entrepreneurship?
greatest thing is owning my own business and just the shock and awe of actually doing it.
So I mean, that does. I mean, you're correct. I mean, the first time I ever put a product out in the market, I didn't even care if they paid me for it.
Yeah.
It was the fact that somebody wanted it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I think that's one of the joys that we go through.
Yes.
So, what's the future look like? How do you see yourself?
I get a lot of calls and requests from people outside of Richmond, like especially out in Wayne County. So it would be nice to have sitters who live in Williamsburg or who live in Webster or Cambridge City or Hagerstown that can devote their schedule, their time to clients in those areas. Because that is hard. I tried that one year. I had a client who lived in Hagerstown, and driving from Hagerstown to the east side of Richmond, it's not, I've learned the hard way that it didn't make good business sense because you spend more time driving than you do taking care of the pets.
Okay.
So right now it's small. It's Richmond and Centerville. and it would be nice to grow.
Now, when you surround yourself with these people,
Mhm.
the people that help you, do they have any resistance to animals, or are they natural animal lovers, and so they're open to everything?
Chickens, they seem to be. I think we're all kind of, actually all five of us, not big fans of chickens. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're just not that familiar with them,
Okay.
and we've only had them, a handful of times. But it seems to be chickens and birds.
Okay, because that would be the larger animals, I think. I would be a little intimidated by the donkeys and the horses.
No, nope. The chickens and the
okay.
birds.
What kind of training do you put these individuals?
Well, that being because they are independent contractors, so that's kind of that gray area between independent contractors and employees. So the ladies that I have found to help me, they know animals. They're good. They're fantastic pet people.
Okay.
And so the training aspect of it is more, all right, for each different client, because each routine, each client has their own way of doing things that they care for their pets. So that's the more of the training aspect.
Okay. So when it comes to things like invoicing, I'm hoping that you're using some of the stuff you learned in accounting, maybe, in school. But how do you do that? How do you do invoices?
It's all not pet sitting software. Like, the way that it works is whenever I schedule a client, it will automatically create an invoice for me, and so it makes my job so much easier. So then I don't collect payment prior to the client leaving town. I always wait till they get home.
Okay.
And I've never had an issue with somebody not paying me. Pet people are really good people when it comes to that aspect.
Is that all electronic then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Even my pet sitting contract that I give my clients, especially new clients, it's all done online, electronically.
And that makes me wonder, so when somebody calls you, if I was to contact you and say, okay, Amy, I'd like you to come and let my dog out each day, do you come over and we do like a consulting time together?
Yeah, we call it a meet and greet.
Okay.
So we'll set up, I'll usually bring one of my sitters with me, and we'll come over, we'll talk, we'll meet your pets, go over their routine, any house sitting needs, whether it's grab the mail, water the plants, set out the trash, we do it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't think about that side
Yeah.
of it. So anything that might need to be done as well, you take care of. I mean, probably not mowing the yard.
No. We'll clean up the pet area as needed, but we don't clean houses.
No, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But, well, that's great. I mean, it seems like that's kind of added protection too, just knowing that somebody's in and out of the house each day.
Yeah, it is added security, especially, leave lights on, change the blinds, that curtains, it helps.
Yeah. So do you ever feel overwhelmed as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Not too often, maybe once a week. No. No, it's hard to say no. But starting out, I took every new client. And now we're to the point where I don't have to do that. I can kind of screen a little bit. And I've learned that it's okay to say no. If I already have something planned and none of my other sitters are available, then I'll say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting. So thinking back to when you were in school and you were studying marketing, and now you're an entrepreneur, and I know you're bringing a lot of the market into it, but what kind of suggestion and advice might you give to the students that are just coming into the program today?
That's the stumper. I would just say it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of preparation to really succeed. And you just can't just do it. You just have to plan. You have to, it's support from your family, from your spouse, from friends. It's For me, I'm the planner. I'm the type of person who organizes, which is why I can handle the crazy schedule of pet sitting. But that would be my advice: is to have your plan, to do your research.
Well, that's great, because that's one of the things I do teach in entrepreneurship is that business plan.
Good.
And so they have to have every aspect of that
Yes.
covered. So they've had to think it through.
Yes.
And so you're saying take it serious.
Yeah.
So excellent. Amy, I'm proud of the fact that you've become an entrepreneur. I knew
Thank
you'd be
you.
successful at no matter what you chose,
Thank
whether it be
you.
marketing, whether it be entrepreneurship, anything in business. So you've proven to be a great success. So thank you
Yeah.
for your contributions back to our community. We're glad to have you here.
Yes. Thank
So,
you.
all right. This concludes another episode of In Your Business. It brings me a lot of pleasure to be able to interview with one of my former students and see that she's taken her education from marketing and applied it to entrepreneurship, which is very important. And you need all aspects of business if you're going to be an entrepreneur. You know, it's kind of interesting to hear her say that students should be making sure they take their business plan serious, and that you can't jump into business, that you have to plan for it. I think that's a mistake some people make, is they do jump in when they need to plan. And Amy's done a great job, and other entrepreneurs have as well. And each day is a challenge. Each day is something different, and she displays the fact that she's ready for that challenge. So thanks again for watching In Your Business.